that this is a conspiracy.
Taking you to the Telegraph, where they're saying that Egypt's Eisenhower awaits his moment. Egypt's military chief could be drafted at the country's Eisenhower to step into the presidency on a wave of popular support, a senior advisor has claimed. Mustafa Hajjadi, the strategic advisor to Egypt's interim presidential authority, told the Daily Telegraph that General Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, who orchestrated a purge of the Muslim Brotherhood-led government of Mohammed Morsi in July, had the qualities Egyptians wanted in a leader. Despite the fact that General Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said it more than once, that he has no intentions to be a presidential candidate, and he even was swearing to God Almighty that protecting the will of the Egyptians and the lives of the Egyptians is more valuable to him and closer to his heart rather than being the leader of this country. Why from time to time we feel that this is going to be a popular demand to have al-Sisi as the coming president?
Well, I think the crucial issue in such thing is that if Hazem Biblawi government succeeded in making a move and good vision of the economy, and the Egyptians will feel a better economy, they will live better, the prices not increasing and so forth, Sisi will succeed. But if Hazem Biblawi fails, he will fail too. And so,
according to?
Because they are responsible. Now, although the one responsible, Biblawi, but both of them are responsible in front of the Egyptians. Because the interim president now, Abdi Mansour, is not really responsible for the situation. Even he didn't interfere with nominating the ministers for the last, the present government. And so, if this interim government succeed in its mission, Sisi will succeed.
Dr. Khafagy, you are talking from the economic point of view.
Well, that is the thing which failed Morsi.
No.
If Hisham Andil was a good prime minister, Morsi would not fail.
Great, but here security is a key word.
Yes, but
when Egyptians
want
to feel safe and secure, this means that they do want a military figure to have, I don't want to say an iron hand or an iron push, but yet Egyptians should feel safe and secure, and then the economy would be would witness progress, with investments coming from outside, with foreign capitals, with the mega projects to take place once again. But without security, how the economy could develop?
Even the security, the security, they not. Of course, the security is very important, but the Muslim Brotherhood per se are not the cause of the kidnapping of children and all this stuff. The security issue is still with those criminals on the roads, is the one which is important to Egyptians, because they know now that they will take care of the Muslim Brotherhood. But those criminals on the roads, kidnapping and all this, doing these crimes and killing, 3,030 last year. The homicide killing were 3,030, 3 times that of 2011. 2011 was only 1,000 something. And so the security issue even was not solved so far. Maybe Sisi will solve that security from the point of view of Muslim Brotherhood. But the criminal security from criminals is not solved yet. And so,
don't you think that it would take time?
I think it needs a strong hold for these criminals. I think that maybe if we apply Sharia law in that, maybe the physical punishment, I think, may do the same thing. But as an alternative, you will need too much money, too much soldiers and too much to get, because even this sentence or putting criminals in prison will not solve the problem, because it is not a deterrent for these criminals. Because when they go to prison, they have everything. They are fed well, they have even sex with their wives or otherwise, and also they are taken care of. When they are in the streets, they may not be taken care of. And also the death sentence, he himself is not pleasant with his life. And so this sentence and the imprisonment is not a solution for these criminals. And to cut his hand and his feet, I think it is the only solution to get security in this country. Like King Abdulaziz, who did that in 1923. When he get good hold of the Arab Peninsula, he did that because Saudi Arabia was more the size of more than Europe, and he could not control. And so when he did this physical punishment, he controlled it again. Well, it is a view.
It's a view, but
yeah, but you know that
what
United
was applied
States,
in 1923, I don't think it can be applied 90 years later.
How many incarcerated in the United States in prisons? 2.4 million. 2.4 million. And still, how many homicide killings per year in the United States last year? 16,000. With this.
With illegal possession of weapons.
No, it is not that. You can get the weapons everywhere.
I mean,
from Mexico and from even Canada.
With the smuggling, with things like that.
If you even
Egyptians were not this way. I mean, the nature of Egyptians were not that much. They were not that violent.
They were not, but
yep.
Now they are violent. They were not right, but now they are violent.
I don't think I can say that in general about the Egyptian people.
Well, they killed the 3,030 last year.
Who are those they, sir?
They're criminals. Criminals.
I don't think that
if you want to incarcerate,
if
you want to incarcerate the same ratio like United States, you have to put 600,000 Egyptians in prison. Cannot do that. We don't have any money. Like Mexico, for example.
Yeah.
Mexico cannot put 1.5 million in the prisons. So, and that's why it doesn't have any security. Mexico.
That's why. Taking you to another headline from the Daily News. NGOs discuss human rights situation in Egypt. 2 NGOs presented the UN Human Rights Council with a joint statement on human rights, while head of the EOHR discussed reforms in the security sector. Hafez Abu Saada, chairman of the Egyptian Organization for Human Rights, EOHR, discussed various reforms needed in Egypt's security sector. Once again, it's the difference between abiding by human rights and the way to attack and to cleanse a terrorist nest, as I may say. Whenever the security troops are practicing their job and cleansing a terror nest like that one in Kirdasa, some would say, oh, excessive use of force, this is not the way it should have done, even dispersing the sit-ins which were in Nahda and in Rabaa squares. You know, this is a very controversial issue. And if we find criminals in the streets or sit-ins with armed weapons, with armed men, with militias, where is the Interior Ministry and where are our soldiers? How to solve this equation?
Well, we have to make a difference between political terrorism, which is the Muslim Brotherhood and Al-Qaeda, and criminal terrorism. That's the difference. And I think as regards the political terrorism, which is militias and all the political militia, for example, when Rabaa al-Adawiyya and Nahda were a problem for the Egyptian government, I suggested for them in the news and also in the TV that many times, before cracking down on Rabaa, is to put to encircle these areas and prevent anyone going in, and let everyone who wants to get out. And
they refused.
They
refused.
Who refused?
Those who were camping.
No, they cannot refuse.
They refused.
Because, well, they can refuse whatever they want. And even the food, it will be transported by our soldiers. But they will refuse anything. But if you make a cordon around it and let those who wants out, get out, not people who wants to go in, it will not be in except when the streets, El Manassa, will be open for cars. And let the food will go by the soldiers to them. If they will do that for 1 week, even of course they will refuse. And if there is a protest, they let them out and prevent them from going in.
Back?
Back. It will be prevented. And so within 1 week it will be finished.
And this will not be considered as violation of human
No,
rights?
it was not violated so long as he is closing the roads.
They consider this as peaceful demos and peaceful rallies.
No, peaceful, but don't close the roads.
They
That's
were
all.
cutting roads, violating the privacy of people.
That is criminal. To do that, they have to be put in jail. If you are obstructing the roads, it will be 2 years in prison. And also, that is as regards the political militia, military militia. As regards the criminal part of things, it means it will not be solved in the near future because it is related to the economy. Because even, for example, United States, when the black African or African American, they have unemployment 45% in the 70s, the number of homicide killing were 27,000. Now, because their unemployment is around 12% or 11%, not 45%, their killing is halved, around 16,000.
Reduced.
Reduced. And so the crime is related to the economy.
So sure, you cannot ask a hungry person to be peaceful or to be calm or to behave in a civilized way. Dr. Medhat Khafagy, unfortunately we're running out of time, but we leave you with a promise to see you again in another episode of The World Today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being with us. By this we come to the end of this episode of The World Today. Till we meet again same time on Nile International. Many thanks for watching. This was Nermeen Abdurrahman. Have a very good day.